Hello and welcome to the show. I am back building another vehicle to take on our Forza Horizon 4 rally course. The most requested car was a classic Mustang, and as there are various classic Mustangs in the game, I figured I'd go for the one I tend to use the least, the Mustang Boss. Not that I don't like the car, the 65 Mustang is always an easy go-to vehicle. In fact, it can be very, very fast. It is fairly light, fairly low starting PI, which means I have tended to use it quite a lot. The Mustang Boss, not quite so much. It is a heavier starting vehicle. We are likely to have to swap the engine out, I would imagine, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to see how it runs. It'll be our first classic American car. The Demon went surprisingly well around here, so let's hope the Mustang Boss can do fairly well also. Of course, rules for this series, the car's got to be all-wheel drive, so naturally we will convert the Mustang. As I said, we will probably need to swap the engine out. Our options, 6.2 V8, 8.4 V10, and the 6.5 litre V12. That will probably be enough. We probably won't need the other engines, but again, we will see when the time comes for all of that sort of stuff. We are going to, of course, have to run the car on some rally tyres. We will want as big a tyres as possible, and 275s at the front are very nice, and 345s at the rear are also very nice indeed. I will also do the track width while we are here. It does, as I've found out, give it a teensy tiny little bit better. Not, you know, by a huge amount, but for what is essentially 1 PI, it's probably worth it. I'll stick with different. We will come back to sort of gearbox and driveline, etc. later on, depending on what we're sat at in terms of PI. We will want naturally better brakes, we will want some off-road suspension, all of the handling bits that we can get on the car, because, well, it's, you know, a pretty damn old chassis, so we are going to want a roll cage. It makes it slightly heavier, yes, but it stiffens up the chassis, which is a good thing. And we're going to dump as much weight out as we can, down to 2,900 pounds. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all, actually, in terms of weight. Now, I'm going to have a look if this standard engine can do it. I'm not expecting it to. While it's not a bad engine, of course, it's not exactly going to be putting out the 1,000 or so horsepower that, well, quite a few of these rally cars have. It's not going to do it. I mean, we're not even into S-Class as of yet. We'd probably make a fairly good A-Class rally car. We can put turbos on it, but even these, unless these are like magic turbos, which sometimes you get, it's unlikely to be on the Mustang, yeah. It's not going to be enough. It's fair enough. Kind of expected that. Now I am going to go with the, I think I'm going to go with the V8, to be honest, with this one. It's actually the lightest option as well. So in keeping with, we will stick a V8 in here. Now we can go twin turbo, we can go supercharger, we can go centrifugal supercharger if we want. We might come back to this. I'm just going to see what I can do with the engine. Naturally aspirated. We're going to start, this is just like instinct, start with the exhaust. Can we get you to the top of the class? It might actually need some sort of forced induction, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine for the car. We're up to 600 horsepower nearly. That's a lot of power. It's a lot of power, and it's, I mean, the weight is not as light as, for example, the 65 would be, but that's, yeah, that's not much weight at all in there. So we can go for, we can go for twin turbos. I think I'm probably going to go turbos over supercharger or do we go for supercharger noise? Supercharger noise is always a good bet, and the slightly smoother power band. I want supercharger noise. I'm going for supercharger noise, okay? Oh, did I put the aero on the car? I didn't. That's probably going to be a good idea to do. And of course it affects the PI of the car, so it's always worthwhile sticking that on. There we go. Supercharger noise, 960 horsepower. So this is going to be a damn powerful car. It's going to be a very, very powerful car by the time we are finished. It's near enough 950 horsepower, 800 torque, and it weighs less than 3,000 pounds. It's a big power to weight ratio. I mean, we've got as much, actually got more power, I think, than the Demon, and we're lighter with big tyres. It's an interesting one. I mean, there is certainly some big potential in this. We're not going to get flywheel on. I will have a look just in case. The gearbox and so on will be changed, having been, I might as well go for it since it's not costing us PI. Yeah, it does get changed when you change driveline, so it will have sensible gear ratios, etc. Might as well stick that in while we're here as well. The Mustang Boss is ready to go. Can 900 horsepower go and fight with a small Vauxhall? So, here we are on the start line with the Mustang Boss. I'm going to get 3 runs through this course to try and go as fast as possible. A 1:57 is what we are looking at beating. 1:57.4 is the target time to beat of the VX 220. I have a feeling the Mustang might not have the handling. I have a feeling the Mustang may not have the handling, but big tyres, immense amount of power might be enough to make up some time. Might be able to give the Vauxhall a good scare. We will have to wait and see. Second gear work through there. There's a mountain of power, a mountain of torque from this engine. We should be okay, provided we don't completely and utterly stall the car out. We're going to sweep it through there. So far, so good. I'm liking the handling of the car. It actually feels like it gets turned better than the Escort Turbo that ran through the course last time around. And we're going to imagine the acceleration will be pretty immense. Although, in power to weight ratio, the Escort was not bad. Some 600 horsepower and around the 2,000 pound mark. So, yeah, I mean, this we're expecting to perhaps be a little faster when you got 950 horsepower on tap with near 900 torque as well to go with it. This should be quick getting going in all of this horrible thick sand. And it isn't too struggling through these technical stuffs. For a big muscle car, it is doing fairly well. Now, we run down the back straight all the way up to 109 miles an hour is good. Braking, we get it sorted. It's a little sketchy, but we do get the braking sorted down there. Now we run on to the beach, slide our way through the first checkpoint. We're actually carrying very good speed through there. Got to slow it down slightly to get us positioned for the run up the hill here, and don't hit it too fast. We have seen cars you can get more than 100 miles an hour up that hill. The chances are, though, you do that, you're going to start getting airtime across the bumps, and that will then make it very difficult to slow the car down for the next corner. I spot an AI car having trouble, but I think that's going to be well clear before we get to that section. Yeah, it's made the jump, so we're not going to worry about that too much. How far do we jump in the Mustang? It's not quite to the tarmac, but not bad, certainly, and no problems with the landing. We run towards the finish line. Oh, it's quick. The Mustang Boss is looking fast. For a first run, we're into a 1:58.0 already, just 0.6 of a second away from that Vauxhall. Yeah, I think the Mustang is going to worry a little sports car. We're on to the second run for the Mustang. As I said, 0.6 of a second is all we need to displace the VX 220. That might not have been, that's not necessarily what you were expecting from the start. The power to weight ratio on this and the size of tyres always give you an inkling that it's probably going to be a pretty good vehicle. I didn't expect it to quite get turned as well as it does. It really is very, very good through a lot of these corners, which, is helpful. This is a narrow, nasty stage here. It really does test the car's handling as well as its ability to accelerate in this thick sand. We haven't really had a formula found, if you like, for guaranteed speed around here. Lightweight sports cars, they can work. Big, powerful monsters like this, apparently, can work. Classic cars can get a little sketchy, things like the MGB. However, we've had other cars like the 250LM, for example, go very fast as well. So, I mean, we're not really all that much clearer as to what is needed here. I mean, a little neater through all of there. I'm not sure whether we're going to be faster. We're going to have a little teensy brush on the barrier again. I'm trying for a slightly neater approach with the Mustang. Onto the back straight we run. It's a lot of speed. I'm going to go a little earlier on the brakes. If anything, I was a little too early on the brakes there. We will brush the fence on the outside again. The speed that this is carrying on the beach is actually very, very good for the car. I'm not going to bother with fourth, actually, because I want to get it set. Here we go. Now we can focus on our acceleration up the hill, although it's difficult to use too much speed through all of there. Now run down the twisty slalom, bouncing between the sand dunes. This may be where I lost a little bit of time last time out. I was a little bit shonky on the exit. We have got a TT and something else ahead of us, which I'm hoping aren't going to get in the way. We're going to go for a big launch from the Mustang. We get it down on the deck. It's the Audi. The Audi is going to stay clear. We go for a little bit of slipstream from the Audi. Oh, we bounced it. I don't know if we hit the wall. We got very close if we didn't, and I didn't see the time because I was busy trying to keep the car under control. Oh, we got a new leader. We have got a new leader. The first car into the 156s. A 156, sorry, 0.7. Oh, the Mustang goes fastest. Then we've got another try as well, see if I can get it even quicker. Regardless of what happens here, we have got a new leader. The Mustang Boss is going to go to the top of the table. The question is now, how far can I move that benchmark? How far can I move that target time around this course? I keep thinking something's going to set a time that's very difficult to beat, and then we build another car and it goes quicker. So, yeah, I mean, this feels very, very good. I mean, it's got just about all the characteristics you want from a car. We've got immense power and torque for that acceleration. It's actually very good handling. The brakes are pretty solid, deals with the sand very, very well. It bounces around without any trouble whatsoever. We're not having awkward landings anywhere. It's pretty spot on. That was a little bit of a run through the fence that I would rather not be doing. However, I've thought that about cars in the past, so who knows what we might see. I'm not sure. The start of this run hasn't been great. We're a little too sideways coming through the car park. I think the previous run, the neat and tidiness, which is definitely a official measurement of driving, was better. This time around we've been a little ragged, but kind of like I've got to the point where I'm trying to find speed. I don't actually know. There wasn't anywhere really where I was slow on that previous run. There wasn't anywhere, oh, that's a little bit of airtime that I didn't want. Yeah, you don't want to run out too wide. I'm perhaps overdriving the car slightly. We were maybe a little early on the brakes there. That was probably about it, and now we're a little too late on the brakes there. Okay, onto the beach we go. Now, we can take it a little wider here and then try and bring it back, maintain momentum. I mean, that's so much speed on the beach. That's the sort of thing, that's 90 miles an hour through that long corner, and that's not really a speed we've seen from many cars. Even the likes of the Vauxhall just weren't able to do that sort of speed. The Mustang's got so much grip out there as we weave our way up. I think that might have ballsed it there. Yeah, I think that's we couldn't quite get it across. I was trying to get it, perfectly lined up for the hairpin. I wanted as bigger a sweep into the corner as I could for the hairpin. Didn't quite get it right. There are little bits there I might have made some time up on. It's quick. I mean, it's fast enough to have gone a leader overall on that run as well. As a 157.0, not as good as the previous run. Yeah, got a little ragged. It's just you're trying to find that time. You're trying to find that little bits of time here and there, and got a little ragged at the end of that. At the end of that run, but nevertheless, the Mustang is going to go fastest. That's a mighty impressive feat. The Mustang Boss will go to the very top of the table. Will it stay there for any length of time? I am not sure. I am not sure whether it's going to remain at the top of the table, because this series has been getting faster and faster with some of these cars. That's a, very, very impressive feat. I mean, the likes of the Demon, some 2 seconds down on the car. 3 seconds down, sorry, on the Mustang. And the Demon's a good overall car. Mustang Boss go 3 seconds faster than that around the beach. Yeah, this is certainly an S1 class rally vehicle to fear, I think. Certainly an S1 class rally vehicle to fear. But who knows what we're going to end up running next time out. And it is up to you guys. If you have a request for cars, please do leave them in the comment section. The most liked request will get run around this stage. And yeah, we'll see if it can possibly challenge the Mustang. Might be tough, but we will give it a damn good go. That, though, is going to be it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.